Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather, and in this episode of the J.H.Leather podcast, we talk about my holiday that didn't happen, my future on YouTube, and what's coming up this month. So it feels like a hot minute since I last sat down to do the J.H.Leather podcast, but it really has only been 1 month off. So yeah, but time is just going so fast. Can you believe it is September this week? That's just crazy. August has gone so fast, and well, the whole year has, coming into the colder part of the year, which I don't really like as much, although here in the UK, we've not really exactly had the best of summers by any stretch of the imagination. So we had a nice June, or a nice couple of weeks in June, and that's been about it really. It's been quite cold and wet and just generally miserable, but that's what it is here. But yeah, so what has happened? Quite a lot. So I'm going to start this section of the podcast by saying, if you watch the Joe and Tim channel where we go over all our sailing stuff and you don't want any spoilers, you're not going to want to listen to this next bit. What happened? Well, it didn't happen, I guess would be the best way to to start that off. Basically, last year Tim bought a new boat, a upgrade to the one that we currently have. It's a lot bigger and it's going to be more comfortable. And so we've spent a lot of time this year. I say I've been up there for 10 days. Tim has been up there an awful lot this year, trying to get it ready and fancying it all up for our month-long adventure that we were planning. And now I say were planning because it didn't go ahead. Basically, we were so close. It was so close. The engine just won't start. And now, looking online, Tim said that apparently the Volvo Penta engine, it's a 30-plus-year-old engine. So they aren't great when they sit for a long time, and it had been sat for, since October, so obviously that's quite a while for it to be sat not doing much. So Tim had done his best. He'd done a load of servicing on it and stuff like that, and basically he attached a water pipe to it because obviously it's a marine engine, so it needs water to cool it. It doesn't have its own radiator, and he thinks that maybe that caused it a bit of an issue. So anyway, it does not start at all. So yeah, so that sort of threw the holiday off completely. So rather than doing our 4 weeks of sailing and up around the Isle of Mull and up around the Isle of Skye on the west coast of Scotland, Tim ended up taking the engine out and bringing it home, and it's currently sat in the yard waiting to be looked at. Now he has gone and got another engine, and he's basically going to Frankenstein the two to make one ultimate engine. And then hopefully next year we will actually be able to go out on our new boat. Yeah, so it was a huge shame to do that. We were both looking forward to it, and the amount of effort that Tim's put in this year into that boat to get it ready is just it's quite sad for him. It's such a shame. He's, like I said, he's put so much time and effort into him. I think he's been up in Scotland 7 times this year. It has pretty much been once a month pretty much for various times, a week here, a week there, then it's 10 days, 2 weeks, and then so that was a bit of a shame really, but he did actually get to go. He basically signed up to a service called Cruise Seekers, and he managed to find a trip that was going actually to the Faroe Islands. So he actually went on a trip there, which was really good for him to actually be able to get out on a boat and go a bit further, because I have no desire to go into the open waters like that. But yeah, so that was really good for him. I guess a positive came out of it. He got to go somewhere where the two of us were very unlikely to go together. So whilst he was doing that, I did go down to Devon for a bit to see my mum, because I think I mentioned in the last video she was having a big operation, and she has had that now, and she's doing all right. She's still, not where she was beforehand, but she's definitely getting there, and she's, on the better side of things, I'd say. So that's really good. Yeah, basically just been Skylar and me at home, and we've done a few bits and bobs. We went to a place called the Shropshire Petal Fields, and basically that's a company that grow flowers and turn them into confetti, and they do dried flowers. So they had an open day there, so my friend and I went and took loads of pictures of Skylar, and that was actually really fun. And so that was really good. We've gone to a few other bits and pieces, and I've also started a blogging website basically as an outlet for my photography stuff, which don't really fit anywhere online at the moment other than separate. I've set up a new website because I do love making websites, so I had fun making a website, and I've now got a blog website. If you're interested, it's jhleather.co.uk. Another very original name from yours truly. But yeah, so I've started that, and hopefully that's going to give me sort of more of a creative outlet for my photography stuff. And I do have plans with that. I might open a new YouTube website and put all my walking videos and sort of exploring videos over on there rather on the Joe and Tim channel, because that is more really now it's more of a sailing channel, that. So and it's more Joe and Tim related, although I haven't really made an appearance much on my own channel lately because it's mostly been Tim up at the boat doing all the maintenance work. But yeah, so that's sort of that side of things. In terms of the YouTube videos, things are doing all right. They're sort of picking up. I really don't know what I've done to fall out with YouTube lately, because if I look on my analytics, like my top 5 videos are all old videos, and they are all the ones that are bringing the money in. None of the new ones really are, which is a shame. And I'm not too sure what to do with that. It's quite, I think I've said before, it's quite not heartbreaking, but I'm not too sure what the word is. No, I can't think of the word, but it's not motivating, I guess, when, like, you know, I'm trying to release a couple of videos a month and they're all performing really badly compared to what they were. So I do think a lot of it is YouTube's algorithm, and I don't know, somewhere along the line I've upset the algorithm. But that is a shame, because like I said, I mean, if I look at my analytics, especially when I look at the ones that are bringing in the money, it's not really any of the new ones at all. They are all the old ones, which, you know, sort of has led me to think of like other ways of trying to sort of make money, I guess, because at the end of the day, the YouTube is meant to be a way for me to make money. And, you know, at the moment, for all the effort that I put in, I average about £350 a month, which, like I said, for the amount of work that I put in, isn't much, and a lot of that is from older videos. And so, you know, from that, I think I am going to try and change things up a bit. And basically, I know I talked earlier in the year about bringing out a dog collar course, an online course, which will be paid for. I think what I'm going to do instead, as well as I've already found the host platform for this, so it is still in the early stages, but it is moving along somewhat slowly, but we are moving along with that. Basically, my plan is to set up a separate website where my online courses will be hosted, because I can't really do that on the Shopify website that I currently have, and I just want all the courses to be in one place. And so I already know the hosting site that I'm going to use for that, and basically what I'm going to do is upload certain videos to that won't be on the YouTube channel, and they will be paid for courses. Now, I don't really know what the price of these courses are going to be yet. All I know is that my plan is to launch the site with like 8 videos to start with, is my plan, and then just add to them monthly, maybe more a month if I can, and they will be sold on an individual basis for those of you who just want one set video or one set sort of make course type thing. Like I said, it's still really early, so I haven't really got it all planned out yet, but there'll be individual course prices for those of you who just want the one video, and there will also be a price for those of you who want to do a monthly membership, where it will be sort of less than the price of the one course, but you'll sort of be paying monthly and you'll have access to all the courses. So that is where I am with that, and I've already got in my list, I do have a list. I have planned that far. So I do have a list of courses that I want to launch it with. And this is also where I'm going to be doing like the dog collar stuff as well. So moving forward, there aren't going to be any more free dog collar or lead tutorials on the YouTube channel. I am going to be grouping them up and then releasing them individually onto the new website as and when I get that started. And like I said, I've already got a list of courses that I'm going to start with. Some of them are dog collar or lead builds, but there also was going to be one all about how I actually measure up for the collars and what fittings I use, as well as a whole sort of video course around how to price and sell your leather work for those of you who are thinking about that or who are already at that stage and just want a little bit of extra help with it. And as well as that, the host website that I'm going to be using also has a section where I can offer coaching, so I'm thinking about adding that in as well. So I'm not going to offer it for every day of the month because that's going to be too much, but I'm thinking like once or twice a month there's going to be a day set where if you need coaching, you can book an online coaching session with me and we can go over sort of whatever you want, whatever you're struggling with within the realms of leathercraft. And so I'm hoping that is going to help me in the little sort of long term financially, because like I said, at the moment YouTube really isn't filling that void in terms of how much effort I put into the videos versus how much I actually get back out of them. And I'm not going to be quitting YouTube or anything like that. Not at all. I will still be releasing YouTube videos, but more of the sort of more exclusive make-along sort of type videos are probably going to be over on the new website, but there will still be sort of make-alongs on this one. They're just not going to be as big as what they have been previously. Although saying that, I think to end the year out, I have actually got one really big one, which is going to be over a few videos. So you need to keep your eyes and ears peeled for that and when I get a chance to develop that. But I have already got the videos. Well, I got half of the videos. I got the next video, well, the first one for September already sorted. And it's weird to say September. How did we get to this point in the year? But yeah, so the September make along video is out, and we are going to be making a raised watch strap. Now I do read the comments on YouTube, and I have seen that one has been asked for quite a lot, so I am hoping that you will all find that interesting. It was a really fun thing to make. I actually made it for my stepdad. His daughter had bought him this really nice little wooden watch, and the strap, or the buckle on that strap had, I don't know, I think it broke and he'd lost the buckle completely. So rather than just putting a new buckle on it, I decided that I was going to take it home with me and make him an entirely new strap. And I'm like, I don't want to be a big head, but it looks really good. I'm really pleased with it. And so yeah, so basically we're making a raised watch strap. And so I got a couple of new tools for that from a site called, I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. I'm going to go for leathercraft.com, and basically I got a watch strap hole punch. So basically it's a hole punch, hence the name, but it's got 5 holes at a set distance apart, so it just makes making the holes for your watch strap quite a bit easier. So I got that, and I also got myself a teeny tiny edge tool, which is something I've been after for quite a while, and in the UK for some reason I find them that the teeny tiny ones have been quite hard to actually find, but this site had them, so I got myself a 0.6mm edge tool, which I'm so pleased with, honestly. And it's the sharpest tool, I think, other than the custom made tools that I have purchased for myself. This one is the sharpest tool that I think I have ever owned, like straight out of the box. Like a lot of the tools that I have purchased previously, I have found that you have to do quite a bit of sharpening to start with, but these ones, oh my goodness, it's so sharp and it's so good. So although obviously 0.6 does take off a teeny tiny amount, but for wallets and stuff like that and watch straps, it's actually really good, because I find that, especially if I'm using, because I am using more edge paint nowadays, and I find it hard to build up the edge to the point where you make the roundness with that. So my plan was basically, if I get this tool, I can just take the edge off just a little bit so it's already there, and then I don't need to worry so much about building up the rounded edge with the edge paint. And I think that has worked quite well. So I did try that out on the watch strap video, and I am really pleased with how that watch strap turned out. So really pleased with that purchase. And so you may have heard me talk about one of my suppliers before. I'm not totally sure if I mentioned them, but it's a company called Metropolitan Leather. Now I have worked with them for quite a while, and I do use a lot of their leather in my leathercraft and for the makes that I do, but they have paired up with a company called leather, and they're a UK based company, and they're making edge finishes. And so they have actually sent me 2 boxes of finishes to actually play with. So that is going to be something that we will also be doing hopefully this month. We'll be looking at these new edge finishes. A lot of them are sort of more around if you're using a natural leather and you are dyeing it, but you can also use them as edge stains. But they also have like a care and restore sort of type items, as well as leather feeds and conditioners, and they've also released their own edge paints, which I am quite intrigued to look at. I know I'm a stickler for the, oh my goodness, where's my head at today? I can't remember the names of anything. Hang on, I'm going to have to go on the A&A Crack website to find out what it's called. So I am interested to see how it compares to the United's edge paint, because I actually really like the United stuff. It's quite thick and it's really easy to use. I have used other brands in the past, but I really like this United's. So it'll be interesting to see how the leather sort of stands up to it. So yeah, I haven't had a chance to test them yet because I've been quite busy, but that is on the list of things to do this month, is to have a look through them. And like I said, they've got loads of different options. So if you are interested, you can head over to the Metropolitan Leather website and have a look through. They've got sort of like some antique finisher, as well as making your own sort of, they've got an oily pull-up finish as well, so you can use that, I guess, to create your own oily pull-up hides. So yes, there's lots of interesting things to look at there, so looking forward to that. And one thing that has happened this month, or in the last couple of months, is we have finished the Leathercraft 101 series of videos, which is one of those things, like I said, YouTube has really taken a dislike to me lately for whatever reason, but to be fair, I think I'm quite happy with how that video series has performed. When you are making a series of videos, generally they don't do so great after like the first episode. Like you get less and less and less views. However, this one has gone the opposite, although I think that's more due to the content being more interesting in the latter videos, so like learning how to stitch and then completing your first leathercraft course, like project, making of the leather coasters. So actually that has actually done quite well. So the leather coasters is currently number 1 out of 10 on my videos in order of their popularity since release. However, However, that's not really a great feat considering the views are still a lot lower than what I would have liked. But again, there's nothing I can really do about that. That's YouTube deciding not to push my content for its own unique reasons. However, yeah, I am quite pleased with it, and I think they are going to be sort of more of a long burner type video with people, as they get into leatherwork and as they come in to find my channel. Hopefully they will then find that video series as a good starting point, and then we'll hopefully then dive into some of the other videos that we have in the back catalogue. So yeah, so that's actually, yeah, like I said, I would have liked it to have got more views, but obviously I think I'm probably going to say that with most things. But yeah, so it has, in the grand scheme of things, it's performed all right, and I'm quite happy with that, so that's fine. And so whilst I try and come up with an idea as to replace it, or what's next after the Leathercraft 101 video course series, I guess would probably be a better way of looking at it. So we do actually have a video that I will be planning today. That is my job for later on today, is planning that, and it has actually been requested from the Discord channel, and it is all about creases, how best to use them, and sort of tips and tricks and stuff like that, because that is something that seems to be an area of struggle for people on the Discord, at least getting to grips with that and what ones they should use. Should they get an electric one? Should they get an adjustable one or a fixed one? Or what about the attachments that goes into the leather stitch groove? You can also use one of those. So hopefully I will dispel the myths and mysteries surrounding them. But yeah, so that's actually going to be quite interesting, because I haven't done a video on the creases before, so that'll fit in a sort of to the tool time series that I have done previously. So looking forward to recording that, and then, like I said, coming up with some more ideas. So if you do have any ideas as to what you would like to see as a non-make along video, because the make along videos I've sort of got covered, but it's like the other video, so a skills video. So if you have got any suggestions of what you'd like to see, you can leave them in the comments, or if you are interested, you can join us on the Discord, and I will leave a link in the description if you are interested in joining us over there. It's a great community of crafters, and we sort of help each other out as and when we need to, and you can share your work and get sort of feedback and that sort of stuff, and I will leave a link to that in the description. And so yeah, if you would like to come join us on there, that would be really nice. We'd love to have you there. And now, one thing to say before we finish this podcast is that if you are interested in doing a one-to-one leather workshop with me, they will be running up until the end of October. So if you are interested, you have still got a couple months, and I do still have a few spaces left. So if you are interested in coming along to one of a one-to-one workshop, then you can check them out on my website, jhleather.co.uk, or I will leave links in the description. So like I said, there are still a few spaces left on that, and the reason they run up until the end of October is because then it gets too cold in my workshop for me to want to force people to work in there other than myself. And so yeah, and then also we got Christmas build-ups and stuff like that. So yeah, so the end of October is the limit or the end point for the 2023 one-to-one workshop season. So if you are interested, you can drop me an email or head over to the website and have a look through to see if there is something that you would like to cover in your workshop. And so yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I will catch you in the next one.